U.S. Navy finds the same kind of Iranian suicide drone Russia has been using against Ukraine was used to attack a tanker.
Here's a summary of the article.
An Iranian-made suicide drone slammed into a commercial tanker in the Arabian Sea last week. The U.S. Navy identified the drone as a Shahed-136, which Russia has been using to attack Ukrainian cities. The U.S. Navy says that an Iranian-made suicide drone of the same type that Russia has been slamming into Ukrainian cities was used in a recent attack on a commercial tanker in the Middle East. Last week, an explosive-packed drone hit a Liberian flagged ship transients the northern Arabian Sea, the U.S. Navy said in a Tuesday statement. U.S. Fifth Fleet collected evidence from the incident and sent it to a lab where technicians confirmed the drone to be an Iranian-made Shahed-136, a weapon which has been used for months in Ukraine. The U.S. Navy said a drone ripped into the back of the ship, caused a 30-inch wide hole, and exploded, damaging the ship's potable water tank, a boiler, and life raft. The aerial drone that hit the commercial tanker was identified as a Shahed-136 UAV, fitting a historical pattern of Iran's increasing use of a lethal capability directly or through its proxies across the Middle East, the Navy said.
This post received a score of 8,600, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Now we know definitely who is responsible.
Not really. Iran are probably not insisting on ID and a sanity check when accepting cash for explodey drones.
Ultimately, they are responsible then.
Probably same ones used to attack Saudi oil refinery, I believe around 2019.
Iran is just desperate to make enemies, internal and external, at a time when they desperately need friends. I wonder if the mullahs will have a moment of clarity in the moments before they're hanged?
I highly doubt they will.
Aspiring to be the Italy of WWII.
Sadly, the trains will not be on time.
Sad thing is Mussolini never made the trains run on time, that was propaganda. Eichmann did. And for that he was rightly executed. I'm against the death penalty in general, but fuck that guy in particular.
I feel like especially in the case of Eichmann there is a certain point at which it is okay to generally stop referring to someone as human.
I understand that emotion, but I disagree. We should never forget that Hitler, Goebbels, Eichmann and all like them were and are just as human as we are. Within us is the potential for both good and evil, and which is sometimes simple, and sometimes a complicated endeavor that has no easy answers. But the delusion that comes from otherizing the evil among us leads to a path where we excuse ourselves of our own mistakes too easily.
I have a book called Hitler's Generals, next to a book about Allied tank maneuvers for precisely this reason. The Reich wasn't just Adolf screaming and things magically happening. Every step along the way there was a person with their own circumstances and motivations. Understanding how and why some people turn to evil is the only way we can hope to avoid it in the future.
So now we know. What are we going to do about it? My guess is probably to give them a stern talking to.
As much as I dislike Reagan's legacy, the man knew how to throw down. Oh, you want to fire missiles at U.S. naval ships in international waters and disrupt international trade routes. That's fine. Knew your oil platforms got all exploded and shit, frowny face.
I read that in his voice.
Reagan eats jelly bean. Has dementia episode.
Vomits on nearby Japanese man.
That was Bush, 41.
Oh yeah, I got my doddering American presidents mixed up again.
Will Tucker, did he eat a baby? Carlson issue a retraction on air?
Dude has a shitty reaction to everything lol.
His reaction is whatever the Kremlin tells him it should be.
After they screen test it on Hungarian state television first.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.